Today, on MOI, we investigate something very illuminating. Hey everyone, welcome to MOI, and it's Reed. Hope you liked my little mad scientist intro. And if you're wondering why everything looks different is, well, I got through the intro part and then I had a major technical difficulty in that everything quit recording for some reason. So after I went to edit it, I was like, I gotta go refilm this. Fun. But that happens sometimes. The technical difficulties in YouTube are interesting, to say the least. But we're here again. We can get back to the real video. Now, before we get going, I want to talk about some other channels and stuff like that I've seen. And it's always nice to be able to mention other channels. I really think, we should all try to help each other as much as we can. These AI algorithms, they may not always pick up that, hey, this little oddball group of people, they might be good. Other people could use and benefit from the knowledge. Gotta do what we can, right? But anyways, let me talk about some other channels I like. Now, one I've already mentioned before. His channel is Modern Refugee. And where you can find him is down here and in the description. Go check the description. It's helpful. But the text of where he is at YouTube's in here. And you can enjoy checking him out. I do like his channel. The only thing is, be careful watching his channel at night. He does a lot of cooking, and a lot of the stuff looks really good, and it gives me the most worst case of the munchies imaginable. So, don't watch his channel when you're hungry. Bad idea. Bad idea. Now, I did try one of his recipes he put up recently, the other day, and that was some good pork. So check him out. He's got a nice perspective on things. Real down-to-earth kind of guy. Like him quite a bit. Now here's another channel I found that's on the other side of the world. It's the Prepared Norseman. I found his channel to be very interesting. I haven't finished watching anything like that, but he's got a lot of little tiny bite-sized videos, as I call, and has little thoughts and stuff like that. He had one that I found really interesting. He was talking about, being manly also means knowing when to ask for help. And that's a really good point. So many of us completely forget to ask for help. And we're like, we're going to do this all on our own. No, we can't. That's why I keep talking about we need groups, we need people, I desire to find lots of people, so on and so forth. But he's over here. Go take a look at him. Now another prepper I'm going to mention I found that I liked pretty well. I mean, haven't gotten through all the videos. I got lots of people's videos to go through. And I'm going to keep mentioning more and more people for everyone to go check out. His name's NY Prepper. He's over in New York. And he talks about little things. He presents scenarios and runs his thoughts about them like that. And I like people's perspectives on that. It also points out, I didn't think of that piece. Good thing to stash away in my own knowledge. Go check him out. Leave some comments on his videos. He replies. I like that. I love it when people actually reply. Really helps. Alright, let's get on with the video here. We're going to talk about something that's really cool. Low voltage DC lighting systems. Now this particularly crosses over into solar power, and it also crosses over into RVs and campings. But for my focus, what I'm dealing with here is directly related to my solar systems. I think you guys might get a real kick out of this. Now what you need? 12 volt lead acid battery, or 12 volt AGM sealed battery, or 12 volt lithium batteries, or anything that makes 12 volts. Okay. Now some of these lights also work at higher voltages, but this video I'm just talking about the 12 volt ones, because it works really well with what I've got paired up for some other stuff. So we're dealing with just 12 volts. Now we got the battery here, and we have some wires. Now, these wires run here too. We've got a old style base for a light bulb, and then a switch. This looks like a standard, house lighting switch, right? Ooh, special, right? Well, this one's a little different. It's made by Leviton. The part number and stuff like that, and where you can find the information on these, link will be in the description. Go check it out if you want more information. Now this one I like because it looks like a standard house light switch, and I'm going to be doing this inside a house. Ooh. Now this light switch is actually rated for DC voltages. It does up to 3 amps. Not a huge amount, I know, but for LED lights, works really well. Ooh, light. Yee. Impressive, right? Well, kind of, whatever. But it's a standard, LED light. Now, I found all sorts of these lights. I've known about them for a long time. It's like that. And I decided, you know what, let's make a video on this. I'm going to get a whole bunch of different types. I found all sorts of ones. And I'll put lots of links to the descriptions of the ones I found. Now, some of these lights, or most of them, they come from China. I have no idea on the longevity of these yet. I'm going to be hooking these up, getting them running, wiring a lot of stuff up, because I'm actually setting up my house, retrofitting it to use 12-volt DC lighting. Now, as you see here, there's no inverter involved in this. The only thing between the light and this is a fuse. This is what you call KISS. Keep it super simple. I mean, there is so little that can go wrong with this system. I mean, this represents huge, massive reliability. I love that. The less things in between a lot of things, I'm really happy about. And so a lot of times, running DC circuits makes a lot of sense. And that's why I particularly was interested in this switch. Now, DC switches and AC switches are different. So you could wire up your AC switch and it'll work for a while until it decides to suddenly weld itself to the contacts because of the arcs. AC circuits arc differently from DC circuits, so they need to be specially rated. Now, there are switches that the contacts are made correctly, I would say, for running high amperage DC circuits, but they're not tested against it. I'd probably be willing to give it a chance, but if you want to make certain, buy the one that's rated for DC. Now, of course, you can go to the automotive store and buy automotive switches that are 20 amps or like that, and they'll work quite well. Just not going to look the same. You'll have to make, special cutouts, stuff like that, and the switch is just going to be a little different on the wall. But I like this. It looks like this. Now, if I wanted to run higher amp DC, like I've had a bunch of lights I need to turn on and off, well, I'll send it to a relay and have this control a relay. Yep. Just like how a car works, for really high amperage systems, we use relays, and the switch just moves the relay, and the relay kicks on the higher amperage. Now, that's the damage that you have to deal with on DC, is that for these low voltage DC systems, to make the given amount of wattage the light needs, it's going to require more amps than if we're talking 110 volts. That's the big difference. I mean, they're going to be a lot higher amperage. Now, there are some interesting benefits, like we'll turn this on. Hey, we got the light, right? And you see those two things here? Yeah, or not. Yeah, this is live, and I'm touching the wires with my hands. Not getting shocked. Well, that's kind of cool, huh? Right? Now, I like that. That's why we've kept a lot of systems in cars so low voltage, is you can touch these things and they're not going to shock the pants off you. The risk to human health is pretty minor on these, and they're really actually quite safe. One thing I do really admire about them. Now let me show you a bunch of the other lights I've got. You can see all the various styles, options like that, and there'll be lots of links in the description. Do check the description to see all the different options and stuff like that I found and things. And some of them I've been aware of for a while and stuff like that, but we'll find out how long they last. I'm hoping they last pretty long, because LEDs are quite reliable. And running at DC voltage, all you're dealing with is a small little driver circuit inside there for most cases. Usually a lot of the lights, usually a lot of the lights are actually rated from like 12 to 24 volts. I've got a couple that were like 12 to 84 volts, wide voltage range. However, I didn't like the lights as much because what their stated output of power, it didn't work well at 12. I mean, they light up and stuff, but they're not nearly as bright as I would like them to be. To actually get them at their full brightness, you actually got to run it closer to 48 volts. Okay, so I understand what they were doing. It's just not a design I would have liked. I would have liked something a little better, but But anyways, now this one I like. It's a nice little designer kind of light. I like the old fixture. I'm going to be redoing and putting a bunch of this stuff up in my house. Yeah, DC circuits in my house. What the heck am I thinking? Well, I love this because, like I said, it's super simple, right? So if I'm working on the electronics, repairing things like that, because, parts are hard to find, so I'm stocking a lot of parts and electronic components, and I got to work on this. Yeah, what's the electronic components that's failed here in this circuit? Exactly. I still got light and I can still work on things. I got a switch and some wires and a fuse to a battery. troubleshoot that, pretty darn easy to figure out what the heck's going on. Now, let's get back to what the lights look like. Okay. So I got this one like you saw. Let's set that down. Oh, there we go. Here's a little one, little light. Not as bright. That's the point. It's supposed to be lighter, smaller. Looking for some really low wattage ones so I can make some night lights or lights to light the baseboard and stuff like that up. I'll get them figured out eventually. Let's see. Believe it or not, they have compact fluorescence. These ones are kind of nice is that you can find the compact fluorescent lights. They've got a lot on clearance and sales going on because people are trying to sell them off and move to the LEDs. Compact fluorescents last a fairly long time, and they're also energy efficient. Yeah, see, this one comes up. This one's more yellow. I usually use daylight bulbs all the time. I'm not a huge fan of the yellow color. That's just me. I didn't realize this was this color, otherwise I wouldn't have bought this one. But I'm going to order some others that are daylight compact fluorescents. Like I said, they got them on clearance and sales. I'm like, hey, you know, I'll get some of those. I'll definitely use some of those. I've got a fair amount of bulbs I got to swap out. And I'm building light fixtures is what it is. I'm going to build a bunch of light fixtures to do this. Fun project. I'll show you guys how it all looks and stuff like that. I've got a interest in making it kind of steampunk looking. I'm going to use a bunch of pipe I've salvaged and stuff like that, painted up and so on and so forth. So it'll be made out of, you know, plumbing pipe sort of things, just like that. Should look pretty neat. Most people are going to go, Reed, what in the heck's wrong with you? You know, the doctor's been looking for years and they can't answer that. Let's take a look at another light we got. Okay, here's one. Looks like a, you know, LED light we see all the time. Ta-da! Ooh. Yeah, I know. It's a bunch of lights. But it's 12 volts, right? DC current. Nothing special about this. There's no little electronics. Easy to run. Just batteries. It's really cool. Now, let me see here. Now, here's one I really like. So, it's one of those old tube lamps. But it's a DC, 12 volts. And it's LED, yeah. I'm only buying LED ones or compact fluorescents. Has to be energy efficient. The old style ones, well, they will happily use up tons of energy and make tons of heat. We don't need that. You know, lots of light, low amount of energy use. That's what we want. I like this one. Plan to put this one in the hallways. Was sort of the interesting fixture I got planned for setting that up, so I can light it up and so on. Those ones I'll use a different kind of switch and a relay to sort of make a three-way to turn them on and off at the end and beginning of the hallway. Yeah, I'll show you guys how all that works later once we got it wired up. But yeah, I like this. I think it'll be kind of nice and decorative. Yeah, sometimes I get creative. Yeah. You can laugh at me later. Now this bulb here, I got hooked up. This one I got off Amazon. And I'm actually really happy with this one. It's nice and bright, and it really matched up with what it said it was going to output and produce on 12 volt. I was very happy about that. So here, let me turn it on. And it's pretty bright. So like that. Now, let me turn on my amp meter. We're going to get to the amperage here. 0. Alright, now, let's see. Oh, let me see if I can turn this. Yeah. Okay, alright. I get this angled correctly. Let me turn this. Okay, y'all can laugh. Okay. Now, got this going. Hopefully I'll be able to zoom in on this, flip it around so you can see what this says. But it basically says 1 amp. Well, this light bulb is supposed to be 12 watts. Hey, watts. Amps times voltage, you know. There you go, 12 times 1, 12 watts. Real happy to see that. And it's quite bright. Really lights up the room well. Okay, so I've got here some water. Now, what happens if we put two ends of the wires directly into the water, right? Nothing crazy happened. My fuse didn't even blow. Alright, what if I put my fingers on both ends of the water? Nothing. Hey, that's kind of interesting. Okay, so, certain my light bulb is set to on. If I grab this, Okay, if I can hang on to it. Okay, my hands are now in there, the ends are submerged, and the light's on, and I'm not getting electrocuted. Whoa, that's kind of weird, right? Can't do that on 110 volt. Yeah, that is very interesting. Okay, so what was the point of making the mess with the water and everything like that? Well, I want to show you one other really interesting property of a low voltage system. Water is not going to be a very big danger to you. That's a surprise, right? Yeah, it's actually kind of cool. Because the voltage is low, it actually can't overcome the resistance necessary to flow through your skin and shock the holy bejesus out of you. Really handy. So, if everything's going absolutely crazy, you got leaky roof, water going everywhere, it's a mess, and you need light to see what you're doing, you don't have to worry about getting utterly and completely electrocuted standing in a puddle of water, getting your hands covered in water while your lights are going. That could be useful, couldn't it? You could imagine sort of all the heck breaking loose during big disasters and all sorts of crazy problems. That's why I really like this. I also love there's no electronics in here. Power electronics work great when they work. When they fail, oh boy do they fail. I mean, it's usually catastrophic smoke and fire fail. So if I'm trying to build things that I can manage to run for decades upon decades, I need really well-built systems. And then other areas, I need systems that, well, frankly, when I need them to work, like if all my lights are set up in the medical area and they've got to work, this is incredibly reliable. I mean, super reliable. And that's why I really like this. I thought I would share it with you guys, get you to think about something different, and you can take a look. And feel free to ask me questions, comments, anything you want. Check the description. I got all sorts of listing materials. Like, I've been buying these light bases. I grabbed a whole bunch of surplus out of eBay so I can make my fixtures and do all that other stuff. And it'll be pretty neat. I'll show you what they look like when I get some of them running. And you can go, hey, that's kind of cool looking, or Reed, your taste in decoration's just horrible. Let me know what you think, and I hope this got you thinking about something, and thinking about something that's super easy and reliable. Because I'm a big fan of reliability, especially on very critical systems, and light can be really critical at times. Take care, everyone. I hope this was useful. I do hope it actually opened your eyes to something you may not have known about, and have a great day. This is Reed, out for now.